There's a new street fighter on your windowsill. The weapon is peace, the word is chill.
Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying Model Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest action figure video podcast. So take off your pants, crack a beer, and let's talk toys. Let's talk my newest loot crate. It's been a little while since I did a loot crate toy haul kind of video, and that's because I've been waiting for things to build up a little bit, and whew, boy howdy, action figures are like buses. You wait ages and then suddenly they all come along at once, because I got a spicy meatball worth of figures to show you guys. But before I do, let me just put on my normal Dave voice, because there is a difference. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for just everyone who's been supporting and watching the channel over the last year and a half since I started this. I feel like things are really kind of picking up momentum, and the community we have here is so cool, and the comments are always super positive, and more people engaging, and it's just amazing. It really is. So just thank you so much, all you guys. Look at this, I'm getting all sentimental, but seriously, the fact that displaying model behavior is like a thing now, that's bonkers to me. So thank you so much, everyone. If this is the first video you're watching, or if you're a Patreon supporter from the start, or all points in between, just thank you so much for sharing this ridiculous, amazing, awesome hobby with me. Right, sentimentality out of the way. I got a lot of cool things to show you. So first of all, let me bring out, maybe are we going to peak too soon? Maybe, but who cares? Hawk from the Mezco Rumble Society. And maybe you're thinking, who? Well, let me tell you. Mezco is a company that I have done a complete 180 on over the last few months. Yeah, not a complete 360, otherwise we'd be back to where we started and I'd be dubious of Mezco and their cloth goods. But now I love me some cloth goods. Look at this guy. This is all the fault of Cosmic Legions. Damn you, Four Horsemen Studios and your Cosmic Legions, giving me a reason to start looking outside and elsewhere to other action figures. Because Marvel Legends are great. They're my bread and butter. I love Marvel Legends, but at the same time, I've kind of reached maximum capacity. I've got everything that I want. And now, especially from watching PulseCon, I was like, some of these figures are nice, but it's all new versions of stuff I already have, like a new Captain America, a new Iron Man, a new Wolverine, a new Jubilee. I've got all these. Need to start stretching my wings, need to start getting out there and seeing other people experimenting. You know, this is like the 7-year itch with me and Marvel Legends. It's like, okay, we've had a good start, but now I want to see what else is out there. Well, this guy, for a start. It used to be that I only like figures that I have a nostalgic connection for, but now it's the artistry of the figures. It's the beauty of how they're made and put together, and Mezco kill it. I mean, look at what's going on with this guy. They have a little bit of a backstory, but not very much. This is Hawk P40. He's a soldier, mechanic, bruiser from the future who's kind of modeled his look on World War II fighter pilots. It's just great, and he's going to fit in so well with the Cosmic Legions. But look at how the cloth goods, it doesn't look like they're wearing pajamas anymore. The material actually flows and sits like real clothes should do. And there is so much going on with this guy. You check out the cybernetic details on his arms, but already I'm going past the cloth goods. Look at the bomber jacket. Look at the fur, the wool interior inside there. It's so amazing. And on the back of the jacket, you have the little pin-up sort of artwork there of a sexy lady robot. It's really great. It's just the joy of creativity that has clearly gone into making this. I don't know if it was one artist or a bunch of artists, but you know that so much fun must have been had kicking around ideas and deciding how we're going to make this. I absolutely adore the B50. Is it a B52? I just think Love Shack when I hear B52. Maybe I should do the review in this voice. No, I won't. That would be awful. But the fact he's got the shark teeth painted on there, and that the lights kind of make his eyes, so it's kind of like a hammerhead shark kind of look. That's so awesome. And come on, a Gatling gun. You gotta love a big, beefy Gatling gun. And he has loads of different flame and muzzle effects as well, because this isn't his only head either. There is also this awesome tank gun turret head with like jaws that open up as well, so he can have like an open and closed mouth. And he's got these little sort of roller sort of grinder bars inside there that you can rotate those to. You can put a gunshot effect on the end of that too, so that on his head looks awesome as well. The reason I really want to stick with this one, I love the shark aesthetic, but also he has wires, cables that go from the back of this head into the machine gun, like he's interfacing with the minigun. That's just so awesome. But yeah, with all the details like the propeller on his belt buckle, the combat pockets there. He's got a wrench that attaches to his belt so you can smash people with the wrench as well. The actual zip on his jacket works as well. He comes with a jacket zipped up, so you can unzip that or do it however you want. I want it wide open, so you got the t-shirt underneath there. But also he's got the dog tags. And the dog tags actually have the Rumble Society logo on there too. So the amount of love that has gone into making this, yes, it costs about as much as 5 legends, give or take. But then when I look around my shelves, I see so many legends that are collecting dust or at the back of the cabinet or on the floor level, which, let's face it, those are the legends we don't really care about. It's the ones who are on the floor. The ones who get the floor level, I'm like, sorry guys, you're just not like the money ones at the moment. Which actually, I say that's ridiculous. I need to rearrange things. Because I got the Clone Saga on the floor at the moment, but that's just a temporary place. But this guy is always going to be pride of place. Absolutely amazing. Love this guy. Now let's go over to McFarlane, because McFarlane gets some good representation here, and that's mainly because of my badass shelf. And for the badass shelf, we have Gorilla Grodd. Now the thing is, I don't watch DC TV shows, I don't really read DC comics, so I know who Gorilla Grodd is, but besides being like a psychic gorilla, that's all I really know. So when I see this design, I don't really think, oh, that's Gorilla Grodd. I think that's a badass gorilla in battle armor. Perfect for my badass shelf. So this guy goes with my Mythic Legions characters. He goes with a Shao Kahn and a Super Shredder, just like some of my sort of more mythical, ancient type badasses, as opposed to my cosmic sort of badasses. You gotta have a distinction between the badasses. But in my headcanon, they all exist in the same universe, which is quite Star Warsy. So you can have one planet that's very sort of sword and sorcery, and that's gonna be next to another planet that's super high tech. You've got to have logic here, you know? Otherwise, you'll go mad. So, Gorilla Grodd. I've got slightly mixed feelings. One thing I will say with McFarlane figures, they do 100% photograph more impressively than they are in hand. But again, that's the same with all action figures. So I'm not, that's kind of a mean thing to say, but like the pictures of Gorilla Grodd, the pictures looked insane. I was like, oh my god, you can get this for just $20? And then when I paid $20 and I got him, I was like, oh no, this is $20 worth. Like this, it's not like as jaw-dropping as the photos would have you believe, because the lighting is great, and it's like, I'm sure you're watching this going, wow, Dave, really, things look better in perfectly produced photos than they do actually in hand. What a revelation. You just figuring that out now. Yeah, I know, okay? But I think it's because this did feel like quite a step down. You know, often I'll see a promo image and then I'll get the figure. I'm like, okay, cool. That's the translation of amazing promo image to real life. That's fair enough. Whereas this, I felt, he does look a bit more plasticky in hand than I was hoping. But there's still a lot of good stuff. The amount of detail that is on this battle armor is lovely. I think the only thing that's lacking is any kind of shading or weathering on the armor. I think that's where the plasticky look comes in, is that it's just one tone all the way over. Like the skulls look awesome. Skulls on armor will always look great. Excuse me, gotta swallow. That's better. That's what happens when I talk far too much. So yeah, the battle armor is great in design and great in detail, but I just wish it was weathered a little bit more. His face is a great sort of gorilla face, but I feel like the eyes almost look a little bit cross-eyed. But I think that might be kind of an optical illusion because he's wearing this helmet. And I think because the helmet sort of cuts down in the middle, I think it just naturally makes the eyes look like they're very close together. In real life? Or is this just fantasy? Either way, we're caught in a landslide and these eyes look slightly cross-eyed, but then everything else with the armor looks really nice. The point at the top here looks terrific. It's just a little bit of a shame there's not more weathering. But again, he's kind of like the Beast, that he has the articulatable toes as well, but that does sometimes make him a little bit difficult to stand because you have to make sure that the toes are not up. The toes have got to be down to get him to stand securely. I like his little toenail ring things as well. They're kind of funky. But yeah, you can have him in a position where he's like beating his chest and looking very cool. So he's not a favorite, but I do like him. He's a cool Gorilla Grodd. Let's go proper old school now with a Comic-Con pickup. I was at London Comic-Con yesterday. Really good fun. And I found me a Mojo Bath. A figure that I never thought I was ever going to pick up. But there was a guy there who was selling him for like a very cheap price. And I was like, geez, I mean, at this price, I'd be stupid not to buy him, right? And honestly, I think I might sell him. But in the meantime, just like he was £25, which for a Build-A-Figure of any Build-A-Figure is a heck of a deal. That's like 35 US dollars, give or take. But I'm really impressed with the amount of detail that goes into this guy. This is where Toy Biz, we can still look back so favorably on so many Toy Biz characters. I think the problem with Toy Biz was there was so much variance. You could have a great figure like this that's a perfect representation of the character from the comics, and then you get like Scarlet Witch or X-23, and it's like, ugh, how did the same company make these figures? That don't make no sense. But what is here is awesome. The amount of detail and colors, so many colors. Look at the colors, children, that goes on with the wires and all the cables in the back of his chair. It really is a bit above and beyond, you feel. The different shading. I was talking about Gorilla Grodd not having enough shading. This is like 20 years old. Almost, give or take. I mean, don't quote me on that. But still, it's old, and yet there is so much shading going on with the disgusting spots and all the different textures on his arms. There is a lot happening here, and that's where Toy Biz, you can still look back fondly and go, yeah, with a few characters, they really killed it. And so this guy is so gross with all the machinery pulling back his face and the big jowls. He's gross but awesome with the little sort of decorative kind of little mojos on the side there. These legs, of course, are far too spindly for him to stand on, but he has the little stands underneath, so he sits in a very sort of aesthetically pleasing kind of way. But this character, yeah, I might not keep him, but I'm glad that I can finally have him in hand and see what he's like. And I'll always just remember Mojo from the cartoon. I never even read any comics with Mojo, but I just remember him being like, my X-Men! He did sound like that, didn't he? He sounded like Bob the Killer Goldfish from Earthworm Jim. I wonder if it was the same voice artist. Or maybe I'm just remembering it wrong. But still, this is a fun figure. I'm running out of space, so I might not keep him, but I'm really happy to at least have him in the collection for now. Let's circle back to McFarlane, because when I bought Gorilla Grodd, I also picked up one that a lot of you were telling me to pick up, which was Samurai Spawn, again for the badass shelf, and this dude was going on sale. Actually, that's why I bought them both. I remember now, Comics and Cocktails were doing a sale. This was like $8. This was nothing. I was like, well, this would be stupid not to get him. And now I'm kind of annoyed that I didn't order a second one so I can have them, I thought standing either side of Shao Kahn on his throne as like two throne guards. Oh, that would be cool. I might have to pick up another one of these so I can do that. Because this guy is lovely. I had the original Mandarin Spawn from the late 90s, and I do lament that I got rid of him, because maybe I'm just remembering with rose-tinted lenses, but I think that figure was cooler. Which is funny, because obviously this has 20 years worth of model-making technology behind him, but still, what we get here, I feel, again, a little bit plasticky. With Gorilla Grodd's armor, similarly, all the black at the back here, because it's all just one color, one shade, little bit too plasticky. Some dry brushing, some washing on here would have been really nice. But speaking of dry brushing and washing, like, they did it on the front. His armor on the front here looks fantastic. They've got this wonderful weathering over the gold that really makes it look like it is worn armor. Like, I've seen armor like this in museums and all kinds of places. This is what metal looks like when it's exposed to oxygen for a long time. That's how it should look. So that is great. If they'd replicated that more, that would have really helped the figure. But there is a lot going for it with just the detail, the amount of love that has gone in to crafting this. I adore the Oni faces on his shoulders and on the battle armor there. They are so cool. And actually, this is a rare instance where I don't want washing. I love the perfect porcelain white because it looks like ivory. You know, I would never want ivory in my figures, but faux ivory, that would work. And this, it looks like, yeah, it's been perfectly carved and then made into the armor. I think that looks really, really great. And then, of course, just the face itself. That's awesome. This is totally Big Trouble in Little China. That's where I get this kind of mask look from. I mean, granted, it's from Chinese history and mythology and whatnot, but that's where my mind goes to, is Big Trouble in Little China. And also, a big plus for McFarlane. I was really impressed with the tunic type bit down the front here. It's plastic, but they've actually put a texture on there, so it looks like it's fabric. It looks like fabric material. That kind of blew my mind. I was like, that's really freaking clever, McFarlane. I doff my headband to you. And then he's just got the big old butcher swords that just resonate with awesome dude you do not want to mess with the huge big shoulder spike over there. Probably totally impractical, but who cares? He is so in place in my badass shelf. It's badass shelf, I'm looking up at it now, is kind of reaching capacity, but next to some of the Mythic Legions looking guys, he fits right in. So my only worry is that I'm gonna have to get another one. And finally, you wonder where the beef is? Here's the beef. He's not the Vindicator or the Victimizer. He is the Violator. Oh my giddy lord. I was not planning to get this, but I am so happy that I did. I was saving this for the main event of the evening. The Violator. If you're thinking about getting one, get yourself violated. Ugh. He's just great. I thought he would be a brick. Oh, and of course I would. You see the pictures of him, and you think this is just a brick with maybe, you know, you can articulate the shoulders. Because let's face it, McFarlane have led us to be expecting of that. But you can do so much with this guy. Yes, you articulate the shoulders, but he actually has proper hinges to move them in and out. You can move the elbows up and down. You can move the wrists, the hands, all the way around, and actually bring them out as well. So he can move his hands flexing at the wrists. His jaw comes up too, so you have that classic Violator look with the jaw jutting out. His wonderful... First of all, this is the biggest thing actually for me. This is the first time a figure has had these kinds of double-jointed knee sort of legs where he will stand, like you can stand him up and they don't collapse, because so often that's the case, and maybe over time when the joints get a little bit looser it will do, but for now I can stand him totally tall and he'll support his weight. I have him crouched because I just like him more sort of compact, you know, just like a brick house. But this dude smacks. He slaps so hard, as the kids say. It's like I end up almost every other sentence saying, as the kids say, because I feel funny using common slang unironically. But this guy slaps so hard. And also, look, he's got the wonderful torso swivel as well, so you can pose him really dynamically. That's the amazing thing. I mean, look at this. I've got like La Cucaracha Violator. And that's just, you would not expect this. I bought this as an impulse. I was at the In Demand Toys stall at Comic-Con and I saw him there, and I also saw Hydra Stomper. This dude was 45, Hydra Stomper was 50, and I was like, nah. I held them both together and I was like, nah, this dude, because you just look at the detail, all right? I want you to look at the detail on this. This is crazy. The amount of sculpting. Look at the spines on the back. I was about to say, look at the spines on his spine. But just look at it. We were all... Okay, look, let's get a little focus here. We were all going doolally about a year ago for the Abomination Build-A-Figure. We were saying, oh, this is one of the best looking Build-A-Figures. Oh, he looks so great. This guy eats that guy's lunch. This shows the difference. And let's face it, like, he's $45, yeah, so he's about the price of two Legends. The amount of plastic and weight and heft and sculpting. I mean, this dude would backhand the Abomination Build-A-Figure. He's just incredible. And the texture, the painting on here is just incredible. So gnarly. There's so much detail. Every scale and spike and lump and bump. It's all been painted and crafted to perfection. Do I love this? You better believe I do. And I'm going to be like straight up too. Like, I don't love all of like the wave this came with. I think the Gunslinger Spawn, he looks too plasticky. And Wave 2... Like, I could do a whole rant about Wave 2, because it's like, oh, there's the Gunslinger Spawn again, but with a new gun. Wow. You know? So, you know, McFarlane Toys, they have pros and cons, but when they have pros, my goodness, they have pros. And the fact that Wave 2 of Spawn, they're doing Cygor, the cybernetic gorilla, oh me nyah. If they make him like they've made Violator, I will be throwing my money at McFarlane to pick that one up. But this dude... such an unexpected highlight. I had no intention of picking him up, and now that I've got him, I absolutely adore him. One of my absolute favorite figures of the year. I'm calling it now. This guy is going to be hard to top. And folks, that does it for an epic loot crate. Granted, that was a couple of weeks worth of loot all thrown in together, but I had so much fun going through this. I hope you had fun watching me talk about what are my favorites, what I love about all these different things. I love sharing this hobby with you guys. So again, before I go, thank you so much for building up this channel with me. You know, that sounds really corny, but like, this isn't like my show. This is our... Oh God, I'm going to stop myself there because that's just too cheesy. This isn't my show. This is our show. No, it is my show. I get all the ad revenue. But guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see here and you want to see more, then join the 6-1 Clicks by clicking the like, share, and subscribe buttons. And if you want to go one step beyond, you can do by going over to patreon.com/displaying model behavior, where you can watch a whole bunch of exclusive videos, including the Legends Legacy Review, where I chronologically critique all of my Marvel Legends, and also movie reviews. I have a review of Venom 2 and Halloween Kills. Yay! So you can go over and check those out, just like these saviors of model behavior, who I'm eternally grateful to for helping support the channel. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and until next time! Bash myself in the nose there. Keep displaying model behavior.
Chill.
Oh, no microphone. Spent my life doing that. It's just more material for the blooper reel, so it's not a waste of time.
Coffee, big time coffee.